7 नवंबर 1954 कमल हासन का जन्म रामनाथपुरम, तमिलनाडु। 1960 बाल कलाकार के रूप में डेब्यू। 1973 उनार्चिगल नाम की फिल्म में को स्क्रिप्ट राइटर। 1973 में ही अरंगेत्रम नामक फिल्म में अभिनय। 1981 फिल्म एक दूजे के लिए से हिंदी फिल्मों में कदम। 1982 मुंदरम पिराई में अभिनय के लिए सर्वश्रेष्ठ अभिनेता का राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार। 1987 बिना डायलॉग्स की फिल्म पुष्पक की कामयाबी। 1987 में ही मणिरत्नम की फिल्म नायकन के लिए दूसरा राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार। 1989 अप्पू राजा में एक बौने की भूमिका। 1990 पद्मश्री से सम्मानित। 1992 थेवर मगन की सफलता। 1997 फिल्म इंडियन के लिए कमल हासन को अपना तीसरा राष्ट्रीय पुरस्कार प्राप्त। हाल ही में लॉन्च हुई फिल्म मर्द नायकम में कमल ने अभिनय के साथ साथ निर्देशन की भी बागडोर संभाली।
दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा फिल्में हर साल भारत में बनती हैं, लेकिन भारतीय सिनेमा की जब बात होती है तो हम अक्सर हिंदी फिल्मों के नज़ारे देखते हैं, ये भूलकर कि आधी से ज़्यादा फिल्में दक्षिण में बनती हैं। दक्षिण के फिल्म उद्योग का असर, दक्षिण के अभिनेता हमको तभी याद आते हैं जब उनका कोई हीरो या हीरोइन किसी बड़े प्रदेश का मुख्यमंत्री बन जाता है, या जब दक्षिण का कोई एक्टर भाषा की सीमा तोड़कर हिंदी फिल्मों में कदम रखता है। आज हम आपको मिला रहे हैं दक्षिण की एक ऐसी हस्ती से जो भारत के सबसे बेहतरीन एक्टर माने जाते हैं। आइए मिलिए कमल हासन से। कमल हासन आजकल अपने जीवन की सबसे बड़ी फिल्म बनाने में लगे हुए हैं। इस फिल्म का बजट 20 करोड़ रुपया है, यानी बड़ी स्टार कास्ट, बड़ी बजट फिल्मों से भी 3 गुना ज्यादा। उनका मानना है कि इतने बड़े पैमाने पे भारत में पहले कोई फिल्म नहीं बनी है। उनकी इच्छा थी कि हम जयपुर आएं इस फिल्म की शूटिंग का एक दिन देखने।
Basically, it's about a person called Maradanayagan, who was born in Tamil Nadu, about 5 or 6 kilometers from where I was born. So I feel like I could almost reach and touch him across the centuries.
I've made this film many times before, so this time I'm actually getting to make it. About 6 years back, I made it differently in my mind. I couldn't afford it then to make it a practical wish coming true.
कमल हसन इस फिल्म को खुद डायरेक्ट कर रहे हैं। स्टोरी है मदुराई के एक वीर की जिसका नाम मर्द नायकम था और जिसने अंग्रेजों से डट कर मुकाबला किया था कोई 200 साल पहले। कमल हसन मर्द नायकम की इस कोशिश को आजादी की पहली लड़ाई मानते हैं। सदियों तक मर्द नायकम का किस्सा भुला दिया गया, उनकी याद सिर्फ मदुराई के एक गीत में रह गई थी।
We were looking for a villain for a period film which we were planning to do then. What we intended to do in all our naivety and innocence was to simply look for a Robin Hood-like character and find a placement for him, a time in history where he could have existed. So to give that image of pseudo-reality kind of situation, could have been history. So we went around looking and we thought British period, the coming in of the Western culture. Around that time we were looking for somebody and actually we were looking for a bad man. So we found that there used to be somebody. It's a folk ballad which says that there used to be a bad man. So let's look at this bad man and cast him as a villain. As I was reading the ballad, I found that it was actually praising him.
When you were a child growing up in Madurai, you hadn't heard the...
Nobody had. I mean, unless scholars, most of the Tamil scholars know about it. Yeah, Marudanayakam, yes, we know. And after we started the research, now so many people are writing about him now, and it's quite pleasing to know that you brought the ghost alive.
Okay. Camera has to go there and shoot the same army from there. And we like the Panamarams to be distributed. We'll let them ride through. Then we'll clean this ground for you.
Not necessary.
No, we have to, because once the horses ride, we'll rehearse it once, better that way, because we can't create this natural thing. So we'll let them run through, clean it once, and then let them run through here. We'll clean the floor again. It looks similar. The pattern will be the same as this.
आज यहाँ शूटिंग की तैयारी हो रही है एक लड़ाई की जिसमें हाथी, घोड़े, तोपों के अलावा 1000 से ज्यादा सिपाही हिस्सा लेंगे। कुछ इनमें मुसलमान हैं, कुछ हिंदू और कुछ फ्रांसीसी भी। अलग मूछें, अलग लिबास और इंतजाम इतना कि बादलों को घिरते देखकर कमल हसन को छोड़िए हमको भी घबराहट महसूस होने लगी।
Today we've already lost money.
Because of the rain.
Yesterday's rain. So today's going to be the costliest rehearsal we've ever had.
Yeah. Because you should have actually been shooting today and you haven't been able to.
Yeah. So we'll be paying 1,000 people. I think we should stand under a tree. The plastic is a controversial.
तो इतनी बड़ी फिल्म बनाने की कमल हसन को हिम्मत कैसे हुई? हमने जब उनसे ये सवाल किया तो उन्होंने माना कि किसी एक्टर के लिए ये वाकई बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है और अगर ये फिल्म फ्लॉप हो जाती है तो उनके जीवन की तमाम कमाई इसमें डूब सकती है। लेकिन वो ये भी कहते हैं कि उनको इस बात का कोई डर नहीं है, इसलिए कि वो कई सालों से इस फिल्म को बनाना चाहते थे। ये फिल्म बनाना उनका एक सपना है जो वो पूरा करना चाहते हैं।
What makes a film like Marudanayakam is daring to bring that little thought of yours to life at such great expense. That's it. I dared to try it out with my family.
लेकिन इंद्र देवता ने फिर से कमल हसन के इस सपने पे पानी डालने की कोशिश की, पर थोड़ी ही देर के लिए। बरसात शुरू होने के बावजूद शूटिंग की तैयारी जारी रही और फिर अचानक मौसम बदल गया। कमल हसन 3 साल के थे जब उन्होंने अपनी पहली फिल्म में काम किया। फिर जब वो थोड़े बड़े हुए तो लोगों को लगा कि वो अब बच्चों के रोल नहीं कर पाएंगे और पहली दफा उनको स्कूल जाना पड़ा।
I didn't know what to do because I suddenly became a common ordinary child, and I had to go to school, which was the most frightening thing. And so I think my re-entry was mostly not designed by design or aspiration. It was simply a good way to evade school.
You didn't like school?
I hated it all.
So you didn't finish school?
No, I'm a high school doctor.
इतने में सेट पे ओमपुरी आ पहुंचे जो इस फिल्म में मर्दनायकम के गुरु का रोल कर रहे हैं और कुछ बातें हुई तमिल फिल्म इंडस्ट्री की स्ट्राइक के बारे में।
We call it Pepsi because it's the Film Employees Federation of South India.
Pepsi. Yeah.
Only one shooting.
They must be in a mess.
So what should they do to sort it out? What should they?
There is some rice.
Yeah?
Dolls.
Only way.
That's all they're asking. Nothing else.
Go down on your knees.
साथ में आए दिल्ली की फ्रेंच एम्बेसी से कई फ्रांसीसी लोग जो आज फिल्माई जाने वाली लड़ाई में हिस्सा ले रहे हैं। और फिर कमल हसन की पत्नी सारिका भी आ पहुंची अपनी दोनों बेटियों के साथ।
पहले 20 कहना, मैंने बोला इनको पता नहीं अंदर होने वाला क्या है। अंदर से चिल्लाने की आवाजें आ रही है।
Not a chicken man.
And you're not vegetarian.
No. Come here. I'm carnivore.
लंच के बाद शूटिंग का इंतजाम फिर से शुरू हुआ।
Do you think that there would be interest in this kind of story with the sort of cinema that is now being made?
See, I don't look at it as a strategic businessman. I am an audience. And I keep making those films which I always wanted to see happen. There's no great pondering over the thing. I said, I'd like to see a funny film. That's how the audience also decide. They don't look into dictionaries and guides and decide what film they'll see. It's just a feel, and I think they'll see it or they'll refuse to see it. You shouldn't plan so much on...
So you never think in advance of what you...
No, I do think in advance, but not in this case. Because we are now talking about something like fragrance. How do you explain fragrance? It's something like that. This audience taste is something like that. You feel it. So the more you go with a feeling, accompanied by simple common sense, I think you get away with it.
कमल हसन को देश भर में शोहरत तब हासिल हुई जब उन्होंने हिंदी सुपरहिट फिल्म एक दूजे के लिए में हीरो का रोल किया। तब तक ये 100 फिल्में कर चुके थे।
Then I slowed down after Ek Duje Ke Liye. My output, I wanted to do less number of films, so it boiled down to 3, sometimes 2, and now to 1 film a year.
1 film in a year.
And I do 1 at a time, so I have to finish the other one before I start.
So now you're basically doing it for pleasure, really, or...
No. Pleasure is something which has been there right from the beginning, whatever I did. I always thought that it's a very naive world, that they pay for something which I would do for free. But then I am the naive person. They say the world thinks other way.
The world thinks
That I'm naive, and why does he have to go and do a film this scale when he could just lean back and make a lot of money?
Well, isn't that true?
That's true too. But then that's how I look at it.
So would you always do something you wanted to do rather than something that you...
No, that's a recent sort of I wouldn't say a fetish, but fancy, that do something which you like to do. Well, then that's a very emperor-like attitude, you know. I'll do only what I like.
Because basically you're an entertainer. So
I'm an entertainer. So what one should do is enjoy yourself and make others follow suit or do the same. Enjoy it as much as you did.
They say about you, some people say that you're the best actor in the country. Do you agree with that?
I'd love to. Why not? But I don't think so.
Why do you think they say it?
Let's not probe into that, because I can prove them wrong and I don't want to prove them wrong. Leave it at that.
Who do you think is the best actor in the world? Or, you know, who do you admire?
See, a lot of people, I find that European cinema, American cinema, Indian cinema, there's a lot of talented guys. Like when Omji and I, that is Mr. Om Puri and I sit and talk, we're friends and we can talk openly. And he says that one thing is that you plan to execute your dreams. You financed yourself. That's the only we didn't do it. See, that's the difference. That's all. Because Mr. Nasiruddin Shah or Mr. Om Puri or Paresh Rawalji, they're no way less. They're good. Well, they may not be able to dance or do a backflip. That's one trick up my sleeve, but that's not...
What do they mean that you financed your dreams?
Kept money aside for it, instead of just to buy a flat. Now my whole, whatever I own, or whatever I presume is my life's safety, fiscally speaking, is all into this.
3 घोड़ा चाहिए ये इसमें अच्छा घोड़ा कौन सा ये और वो आर्टिस्ट घोड़ा दोनों अच्छे हैं ये जी
एक्टर के तौर पर इतनी कामयाबी, दौलत, शोहरत और ये सब, जैसे कमल खुद ही कहते हैं, बिना काम किए। फिल्मों ने वाकई उन्हें बहुत कुछ दिया है, लेकिन सिनेमा कमल हसन के लिए है क्या?
Is a vocation which helped me never having to work another day in my life, especially my stardom. I never worked for the past 10 years. I don't remember having worked. It was a long holiday. Today is one.
Does it feel like that?
It's painful, yes, but I always wondered why people go windsurfing, riding, paragliding on their holidays. They should lean back and look at the sky and do nothing. And then I remember what I do in my shooting. I break my back doing work. For me,
it never seems like work to you.
No.
But
The day it does seem like work, I think I should stop.
do you think it's just luck, this kind of success? I mean, it's a wonderful thing to be able to say that you've never really worked and you've had so much success and fame and things. Do you think it's a question of luck?
Yes, but all the hard work will go unexplained if I put everything to luck.
दक्षिण के फिल्मी उद्योग ने देश को 4 मुख्यमंत्री दिए हैं। एम.जी. रामचंद्रन, जयललिता और तमिलनाडु के वर्तमान मुख्यमंत्री के करुणानिधि, जो स्क्रिप्ट राइटर हुआ करते थे, और आंध्र प्रदेश में एन.टी. रामाराव। हमने कमल हसन से जब पूछा कि ये राजनीतिक हकीकत और ख्वाबों की फिल्मी दुनिया का मेल दक्षिणी राज्यों में कैसे होता है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि लोग शायद अब भी राजे महाराजे पसंद करते हैं और फिल्मी अभिनेता उनकी नज़रों में यही रोल पूरा करते हैं।
We were craving for kings. We lost our kings much earlier than the other states. Madras, by virtue of being a British headquarters, we've not had a king for about 250 years, 300 years, while the rest of the states had a single celebrity to look up to. It comes from the Raj Bhakti era. Then God wasn't that satisfying. They wanted a physical representation. And democracy was too confusing. And so they settled for one icon. Sometimes it's a godman. And the star is more of a volatile fantasy.
Is there anything that you set out to do that you didn't succeed in doing?
Like today, I set out to, I should be shooting right now. And I should have canned about a couple of shots. Sometimes I get angry. Sometimes I'm very philosophical, very grown up. Sometimes I'm a child.
How do you feel this now?
No, now I'm grown up because probably I'm putting up a face because I'm leading the troop. I'm the commander here.
Nobody crosses this area. We cannot shoot like this. And we lost a day and we can't loot anymore. Anybody with common sense will know that somebody is walking in here into the frame.
इस फिल्म के बजट का अनुमान आप इसी से लगा सकते हैं कि इतने इंतजाम और एक पूरे दिन की तैयारी के बाद आज शूटिंग हो ही नहीं पाई।
I have always called myself a limelight moth. I'll probably die trying to reach closer and closer to the light. So that's probably what drives me, appreciation. Money, yes, that's also important. I wouldn't bluff and say that all that matters is applause. Then the man who does acrobats in the Juhu Beach is a much happier man than me because he gets to hear it virtual reality kind of situation all around him. That's not enough. I think money is also then. I'm very lucky to be paid for doing something I enjoy doing most. So I have no complaints.